everybody. This is Keith Gleason, host of Indie Comics Relay, creator of the Mighty Mascots, and promoter for the Plastic City Comic Con. And I'm back with another comic review. Before we get into that, just a quick reminder that the Mighty Mascots campaign has ended on Indiegogo, but all the issues have been moved over to my website. You can get there by going to either heroenvy.com or recklesssidekick.com. Both URLs will take you to the same place. And you can get all 9 issues there, along with a new graphic novel collecting issues 1, 2, and 3. And then there's also my older work like Swamp Tales and Hero Envy there is available as well, and some of my singles as well. So check it all out. I will be working on getting all the digital issues up at Global Comics at some point too. So now that I've gone back from Alterna, I'm like trying to add everything back in under my name and label and all that fun stuff, So, but yeah, so check it out if you get a chance. All right, on to our comic review. This is a review of Dracula #1. This is put out by Skybound Entertainment in association with Image Comics. The writer on this is James Tynion IV. Artist is Martin Simmons. And the letterer is Russ Wooton. Wooton, I think is how you say it. You know me, I'm horrible with names. So I originally had passed on this book because I thought it was just going to be an adaptation of the Dracula novel, and I've seen the movie dozens of times. I've never read the book, but I've seen a bunch. I've seen the old original Universal movie. I've seen the Bram Stoker's Francis Ford Coppola one from the 90s, and everything in between. so I was like, I don't know if I need another adaptation of Dracula. But recently I found out that it was a new story set within the novel of Dracula, or from the movies, the Universal thing. So I was like, I love James Tynion's writing. I love Martin Simmons' artwork. So let me grab this thing. So it's a 4-issue miniseries. And, so judging from I just got the first one so far, and it's really good. Let me read you the synopsis from the Skybound website so you guys can get an idea of what this story is. So the comic book miniseries will unfold over 4 suspenseful issues, with the first installment plunging readers into the eerie world of Dr. John Seward after he admits a seemingly delusional new patient to his asylum, recounting chilling tales of demonic entity residing next door. The skeptical doctor attempts to rationalize the unexplainable, but his adopted daughter, Lucy, mysteriously succumbs to the malevolent influence of the enigmatic Count Dracula. So it's almost like it's interesting, some of the changes. And I don't know if this was, so Renfield seems to be the main character in this rendition of the story. And it's interesting how Martin drew him or painted him. He looks just like a guy with like just stock white skin, and it almost looks like he has a mask on, and he's eating the bugs, which we all know from the previous iterations and stuff. But it added a new level to it, saying that Renfield was actually on the Demeter, the ship that brought Dracula over to, is it England here? And so that was a new version that I've never seen before, because I've always thought Renfield was in the insane asylum, and he just was connected to Dracula. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but like that's my take on it. Like when Dracula got closer, he started going more crazy, eating more bugs, and pledging his life to Dracula. But in this version, he was actually on the boat, and he's sort of in the asylum because he's blamed for all the deaths on the boat, all the sailors that were killed. So that was kind of interesting. And this story also revolves around this Dr. Seward that's trying to cure Renfield, and he's listening to all his rants and ramblings, and he figures out that maybe if he removes his tainted blood and replaces it with pure blood, that it could, the blood poisoning would once that was removed, could cure Renfield. So it's kind of interesting. And then in the background, Dracula is doing his thing, but yeah, I really liked it. I don't want to go into too much, but it's a good setup for the 4 issues. So after reading it, I'm like, all right, I gotta add the next 3 onto my pull list because I really liked it. So I've talked many times on this channel I've done reviews, or I've done, my indie previews every month. And I've always highlighted James Tinian's work. Like, I think he's one of the best writers going in comics right now. So, and I kind of wish I had read more into this so that I could have bought it early. I thought it was just adaptation, which I don't know why I was thinking that. I figured James Tinian would do a little more than just an adaptation. But anyways, I like all his stuff. There's a few books I haven't liked, and I did a couple reviews on them, but I'd say 95% of his stuff is amazing, and I love it. And bringing Martin Simmons into it, his artwork, the painted artwork. I mean, just look at some of these pages I'm showing on the preview here. It's amazing. Like, they both worked together on a previous series called Department of Truth. And this is them kind of taking a break from that to kind of do a refresh, and then come back and do more Department of Truth. I also read too that Tinian was, he's kind of done with writing other people's characters, but when Dracula came along, it was like too good to resist, so he had to jump on it. So I thought that was cool. That also gives you like hope that when a writer's excited about doing a comic or writing a certain character, that they're going to be putting like 130% into the story and everything. And that's the case here. I really think both creators are firing on full cylinders here. So my thoughts, I would recommend this for you guys, especially if you're a horror fan. And the other great thing is I went to Skybound's website and just looked at some of the other images and previews of the series coming up. There's some great ones there. I'll try to put all the covers here so you can see them. But they also talked about, this is the first of them taking on the Universal monsters. So we may see miniseries. There hasn't been any creative teams announced yet or anything yet, but they want to do more. So we'll probably see a Frankenstein one, maybe a Creature from the Black Lagoon, and that one would be cool. And even like an Invisible Man and some of a Wolf Man, that'd be cool. So I'm looking forward. I hope this does well. I think it will, because Tinian and Martin Simmons are really great creators. So I think if this does well, we'll see more. So I can't wait. So I do recommend this, especially if you're a horror fan. If you like Tinian, I think you'll like this. If you like horror, if you like Dracula, I think you'll love this, because it's something new. It's something like kind of almost like a side story going on in Dracula at the same time, which is kind of cool. Like, he was able to figure out a storyline within that already established mythos, So the page count is about 24 pages. There is also in the back, there is some nice sketch work, like bonus sketch material from Martin Simmons trying to figure out Dracula's look, headshots, things like that. It's a little pricey. It's $4.99, but that seems to be the standard now for new books, especially like it's got, one of those kind of cardstock covers, and the paper's nice and glossy. So that seems to be about the standard price now for comics. I still see some at $3.99, but $4.99, especially for a number one, seems to be, in line there. But yeah, no, it's got like 3 or 4 different covers. I don't get into that whole game. I just pick the one that's the cheapest, and if there's multiples of that cheap one, I will look for the one that I think is awesome. So that's what I bought. So Dracula gets a thumbs up from ICR. So check it out. I recommend going to grab it. It's out now, and I think number 2 is coming out anytime now. So it's been a couple weeks since the first issue dropped. So all right, everybody. So that's it for this review of Dracula #1. Please like, subscribe, share the channel if you think anyone would like, anyone likes independent comics, things like that. And join us Monday nights for our live stream at 9 p.m. Eastern. We always have cool independent comic guests and writers and artists and all the gamut, so join me, Johnny, and Harry as we interview those guys, and we hope to see you there. All right, everybody, have a great week. Most importantly, read some comics, and we'll talk to you later. Bye.